Welcome back to This is VANCOLOUR. Normally, celebrities fawn over how great Vancouver is. Normally. But some celebrities, well, they're not having a good time here. Here to talk about it, local legend and the queen of Kitsilano, she is Fiona Forbes, and this is the Forbes Report. So Fiona, last week, Malcolm in the Middle, Frankie Muniz in Vancouver, not having a great time.
Not having a great time from the moment he landed, because last Wednesday night, by the way, I didn't know he was coming to Vancouver. They're doing a reboot of Malcolm in the Middle.
They are, yeah.
It's being shot here. Bryan Cranston has signed on, one of my favorites, so I'm sure the reboot will be great, but the landing was not great. Frankie sent out a tweet on Wednesday night saying he landed Vancouver and his airline lost his luggage and he had no clothes. The shocker for me was that it wasn't Air Canada that lost his luggage. It was actually American Airlines.
Shots fired. Okay. And you know what? That's not YVR's fault. That's not the city of Vancouver's fault. But he had some more trouble as well,
He
right?
did, because you know that feeling, I've lost my luggage, and it's just the worst, and especially when you're arriving somewhere, and then he finally exited the airport, and he had a parking ticket.
Yeah.
So double whammy. So I hope he ends up having a great time in Vancouver. But guess who came to save the day? Because when you're an actor coming to town, he probably brought some work clothes.
Yeah.
Vancouver Whitecaps stepped up to the plate and offered to kit out Frankie while he was in town. So if you see some Whitecaps merch on Malcolm in the Middle,
wow, that's
you know
why.
the backstory.
That's amazing. Now, again, most celebrities, when they come here, they praise Vancouver. Frankie's not the only one to have kind of a weird experience. Who else notably has had a weird experience in
Well,
Vancouver?
this is funny weird because of the story behind it, because I am one of the people that has confused Daniel Radcliffe and Elijah Wood.
They're the same person.
They look like brothers. They have been mistaken, according to Daniel, hundreds of times.
Okay.
And Elijah Wood was in Vancouver and he was in an elevator. And we also all know that feeling. And when you're a celebrity, times it by 1,000 when you know somebody's looking at you.
Yeah.
And Elijah said that he could feel somebody's eyes on him. He knew what was about to happen. At least he thought he knew what was going to happen, because when the other fellow exited the elevator, he yelled, "Harry Potter!"
Who is Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah.
Elijah Wood was in Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Yes, but they have a sense of humor about it. And what Daniel says, he says that he doesn't think they look identical, but he said when you put all our human components together, we are big-eyed, blue-eyed, pale white guys with brown hair. So all together he gets it, but they really do look like brothers. And they would do a movie together. And Daniel said he's accepting pitches. Pitch him if you think you've got the great buddy movie for the two of them to be twins.
So this isn't that bad, and this wasn't particularly exclusive to Vancouver, although an incident happened in Vancouver. Is there anyone we can think of who really had a bad time in Vancouver?
This is somebody who actually was ousted from Vancouver pretty much by all the hate that he got. And as soon
Ken
as...
Sim? Oh no, I'm ahead
Close,
of my
considering the
time
lineup.
here. Yeah.
But as soon as I name the show, you'll know who I was talking about if you're from Vancouver. The X-Files.
Oh.
Filmed way back in 93, it started. I think it went for 5 seasons in Vancouver. Obviously, it employed so many people in the film and television industry, but David Duchovny made a fatal error. He went on Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
And he dared to complain about the rain in Vancouver.
Only we're allowed to do that.
Exactly.
Outsiders can't do that.
Exactly. And what he said, and the guy has a dark sense of humor, very dry wit. When I saw it the first time, he was kind of joking, but you know, it does rain here a lot. What he actually said was, Vancouver's nice if you like 400 inches of rain a day and living in a tropical rainforest, except for without the tropics, and it's more like an ice age rainforest.
Wow.
It's kind of like that outside today. But what happened was this went viral before viral stories were a thing.
I remember people brought the pitchforks.
So much
They were
hate.
ready to.
And the whole production ended up moving to California. Apparently, Gillian Anderson also wanted to move to California. One of the directors did too. It wasn't apparently his fault, but David Duchovny took the blame. But lucky for David, his next hit show was Californication, which had to be shot in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if that was intentional on his part, but he got to stay in LA.
Now, really quickly, has he made amends with the city? Do we know? Is there,
You know, I don't know. I don't think he's ever shot here again. But
So the beef is on. We're still
the
squabbling
beef is
with
on.
him.
I think if people saw him, that is exactly what people from Vancouver think they connect him to. But Vancouver's got main character energy. Like, it was playing a role in the X-Files. You needed our dreary, foggy, spooky days for the X-Files. You can't shoot a show like that on its sixth season at sunny skies all of a sudden.
Well, you know who always brings some sunshine to the city?
Who's that?
Fiona Forbes.
Yes, on the Forbes Report.
Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Always.
Folks, thank you so much for watching. And of course, thank you to Fiona Forbes, Dr. Jen Gunter, and Rachel Gilmore for their time tonight. Has something got you all riled up and outraged? Tell me about it, mo@thisisvancolour.com. Unless you're complaining about me, then file your outrage to the team at chekmedia.ca. Follow me on all the socials, please, even though, get off social media. We're back next week to talk about housing because that's still a crisis. Until then, be colorful. Peace.